Here we are with the Telecaster once more, and today we're going to be taking it to pieces and we'll have a look and see what's under the hood. I'll have to use a soldering iron to release the wires for the switch plate here and also the two pickups. That won't be a big deal. Obviously I can't do all of this while I'm holding the camera, so I'm going to do it off camera, and then we'll come back and have a look as I take each component off, and we'll see what lies within and under and see if there's any surprises for us there. Back in a moment. Right, I've just removed the strings, and I have to say again, this neck really is quite a nice piece of maple. It's very, very pretty. It's a shame I'm not going to use it, but that's the reality. It's a beautiful fit into the neck pocket here. It takes quite a bit to get it out. It's actually very, very nice. The whole fit and finish of this is pretty good. I gotta say that for it. But there's always a but, isn't there? I've taken the screws out of the bridge plate here. I haven't unsoldered the bridge yet, or the pickup yet, but look what's lurking underneath. Oh dear. This is a very untidy bit of chiseling going on here. Well, actually the chiseling is quite tidy, but it's not good. Also, we've got extra holes drilled here that we don't want. These ones back here, actually. If we have a look, these 6 holes here are for the strings to go through, and the 4 holes in front of it are the ones to mount the bridge. So these 3 here are redundant. That said, I want to refill these holes because I'm going to move these 6 holes further forward for the new bridge that I'm going to put on. So, long story short, I'm going to have to fill all of these holes. Be right back. Rather than unsolder the wires, I've actually cut them, as you're going to see in a minute, and I'll show you why. All the screws are removed from the scratch plate, or pick guard, whichever term you want to use. Tell you what, before we do that, we'll just take this switch plate right off. You can see I've cut the wires, and the reason being that the switch here is this one here. It's very low quality. It's not. It works, you know, but it's not great. I won't be using this plate at all. And these little volume and tone controls, potentiometers they're called, are very, very small. They work, but they're not the best quality. So I won't be using them. I will keep this plate though, that will come in handy, and these knobs, but there was no need to unsolder all this. They're not fantastic. So we'll put that aside for the time being over here with the strings. If we take this bridge right out of here, and there you can see the pickup. A bit awkward to do it with one hand, but there you go. On the back you can see a ceramic magnet that's attached to it. A lot of people they diss these ceramic magnets because Alnico is the I hesitate to say snob value way to do it, but it is. People do use Alnico magnets, and they kind of look down on ceramic, but ceramic magnets have been around for a very long time, and they're not better or worse than Alnico. They're different. Whether you like the sound of them or not, well, that's a moot point, isn't it? It depends on who you talk to, who's listening, but most importantly it depends on me, because I'm the one who likes the sound or doesn't. So I got no issue with ceramic pickups. This one is microphonic, meaning that if you talk into it while the guitar's plugged into an amplifier, you will hear your voice come through the amp. It's because this is not wax potted, which is a term I'll explain when I do wax pot this way in the future. But for now, we won't be using it. So let's remove the scratch plate and pull the wires all the way through. And here we have the front pickup. This is the standard Telecaster type pickup, also with a ceramic magnet. Also not a problem for me. So we're going to keep that. I've got a use for this scratch plate, well, for this piece of plastic, I guess. I've got a use for that on this project later. So we're going to keep that as well. The remaining two wires you see here, they go to the output jack, which is where we plug the guitar into the amplifier. I may or may not keep that. I'm going to remove it in a few minutes, and it can go into the list. I'm also going to remove these strap buttons, one here and one at the front. So we've got a completely naked body, as it were. Apart from, I just thought, the string ferrules. These are going to have to come out. I'd like to get them out without damaging them because they're very nice in that they sit flush, rather than a lot of electric guitars like my other one where they sit a little bit proud, which is the design, but I do like this design. So I'll try and get them out in one piece. If not, I'll have to buy some more. To fill these holes, my plan is, if I can just reach over here, I've got a very long piece of doweling here that I should have cut, but I will at some stage. I need, this is 6mm doweling. I'm going to have to drill these holes all out to 5.5mm and then knock the doweling in there. I'll film that process as we get to it, so we can fill the holes completely. This one here is going to be more of a challenge. I'm going to have to, I guess, make a square of some timber. This is just a neck plate, but I'll be making a square, if you like, of some timber that covers the whole thing. Then I'm going to have to draw an outline of that square and wrap this whole square to match my timber plug in order for it to sit in there nice and clean. Bit of a mission, but can do. Also, I'm going to turn this into a rectangle so that it's easier to deal with, and I'm going to plug that as well. And just to make myself a real complex task, I'm going to plug this too. I don't want the switches coming through the front with this horrible switch plate that people seem to love. I don't. I want this to be completely flush, and I want the switches to come through from the back under a nice cover. Also, I need to fill these holes with the same doweling. These are the holes that the pick guard left behind. They've got to be filled also. So you can see there's quite a bit of work to do, and there's a lot more that I haven't told you about that I'm going to do to this body. But that will come at a time once we've got the major things done. It's not going to happen overnight. This is all new territory for me. I'm not a carpenter. I'm not a luthier. But if I take my time, I think I can do a reasonable job. So, follow me along with the journey, and let's see if we can make this guitar something a little bit special and a little bit more Kiwi. Take care. See you on the next one. Bye bye.